you to come to a physical position in your body where you feel at ease, but also can stay aware of your body and your breath. So maybe you come to lie on your back, maybe you find a comfortable seat, maybe you're in a chair or grounded with a support, but starting to choose just a physical shape of your body, as we always do, and inviting you to let your gaze soften or your eyes close. And that soft gaze is almost like letting your vision get a little bit blurry. So we're allowing our body to start to take in a little less input visually speaking. So we can start to just settle and notice. And as you start to connect into your body, starting to notice your breath, maybe just giving yourself a little scan to notice your forehead, seeing if you can soften around your jaw, and letting your arms, your shoulders, your hands feel rested and relaxed wherever that may be on your legs, on your body, next to the sides. And start to just follow and notice the rhythm of your breath. No expectation to change the breathing whatsoever, just feeling kind of the wave of your breath as it naturally feels most comfortable. In and out of the nose, in through the nose, out of the mouth, whatever feels best. I'm going to give you just a little moment to settle in, and we're going to use a bit of a countdown. So once you feel ready, we're going to start to count. As you inhale next, on your exhale, say to yourself 10. Inhale. As you exhale again, that's 9. And continuing to just count your breath, counting backwards down. I'm going to go a little quiet as you do so. And once you land at 1, just continue to breathe naturally and let your mind soften. And again, once you're done with your countdown, just continuing to breathe, to let your mind soften. And start to notice as you feel this pause or this invitation to pause, having come from a moment where we gave our minds something to hang on to. Maybe you start to draw attention to when, not if, but when your mind starts to wander into another direction. And when you notice your mind start to wander, when you notice your thoughts starting to drift, simply just draw attention to that, giving yourself just the moment to say, yep, I was thinking about something else. And then perhaps take a countdown of 3. So an inhale and an exhale to 3, and then 2, and then 1. And again, allowing yourself to just settle after that countdown, to notice how it feels, to pause and be still. And again, not if, but likely when the thoughts start to drift again, simply allowing yourself to acknowledge that moment, calling attention to that drifting of our minds, and again, allowing yourself a countdown of breath from 3 to 1. And as you continue to explore this idea, as we come to our meditation practice, yes, we're attempting to bring in this idea of quieting the body and quieting the mind. But really, the idea of having the mind be completely empty, we're asking ourselves to take on an impossible task. So rather, what is the practice that we can start to embrace when we do have our mind start to wander and drift? Not only in this moment of meditation, but what might that look like when we are out of this practice, out of this time and in our day-to-day moments. So as we practice here, letting yourself notice, my mind has drifted. I'm maybe spiraling into a bit of a daydream or some unproductive thoughts. Simply by calling awareness to that moment, you are bringing yourself back to the present time. And isn't that part of our goal? To be present, to be in the current moment. So there's power in that practice of simply naming and calling yourself back. And then perhaps even off of your practice, taking that countdown of 3 and 2 and 1 breaths, where you give your mind that moment to establish connection to breath. There is research to say that our brains can start to settle back, can pause the flight or fight response with simply 3 aware and thoughtful breaths. Taking just a few more moments to feel that ease in your body, to allow yourself that noticing, that naming of when your mind may start to drift away from this moment, acknowledging, honoring, being kind and gracious with that mind wander moment, and taking again your 3 thoughtful and purposeful breaths. I will again go quiet for a few moments as we continue to build our meditation practice and stamina, letting you spend a few more moments in quiet to continue that cycle as it happens in your mind and in your body, to notice, to breathe, and to settle and try again. And as the sound of my voice comes back into our space, noticing where you are in that pattern, letting the mind be what it's designed to be, graciously bringing ourselves back and using that countdown of breath. I invite you to explore what we've practiced today. At any time, you may start to notice some of this, no matter where you are in your day, continuing forward on this day and beyond. When you notice yourself in that spiral, that daydream, that drifting mind, simply naming that moment, again, acknowledging and bringing awareness to that grounds you back in the present. Really celebrating the power of that. And then again, perhaps those thoughtful breaths. Taking 3 intentional breaths does not take much time, yet again, there is power in doing so to give ourselves that reset. As you continue to breathe with your most natural cadence and rhythm, I invite you to start to lift your gaze or maybe blink your eyes open. Perhaps you start to wiggle a bit through your fingers, maybe a little movement of your head and your neck, and maybe a smile of gratitude for having made this time for practice. I wish you the power to start to take our practice together away from these moments, to give yourself that grace and presence throughout the rest of your day and beyond. Thank you for taking time to join me and one another. The light and love in me sees, honors, and bows to the light and love in each and every one of you. Namaste.